I forget what the symbol for the first ever Olympic Games was. 3 stars or 1 star or it was a ring or something like that, and then it was 3 rings, and then and that meant 3 groups or whatever, 3 companies. I think it was 1 ring per company or something like that, or 1 star per company, basically. Every company I had, I'd add a star or something like that, and so I had one company, and then one wanted to join me or something like that, and then it became 2 companies, and there was just like 2 rings, and then we had 3 rings because there was 3 companies or 3 groups or something like that. Um, and that I think it meant 3 companies that joined the collective or joined the group or that I bought. I don't really remember actually because I was buying and people were just like we want to work with you, we want to work for you, and we want to be a part of your company or whatever. And it's like, oh, okay, sure, step on in, come on in, come on in to meet the real Lucifer Star of 800 galaxies and the Earth and basically um, the Mars, all the different planets, and creator of the sun, our star. Also, leader of the human race and a couple others. So anyway, a lot of other people were like, "We want you to lead us," and so I did, and it was great and glorious and wonderful, and everything worked out just fine for the most part. And even when people were trying to take us down, like what's it called, like the Brown or whatever. This black dude, he just was all crazy. And anyway, so like I said, the Olympics actually started in year 5 or year 3 actually, like 03, or I mean like 003, like basically the beginning of the calendar is pretty much Lucifer Star basically. And actually, it came after the worst apocalypse ever. Basically, I mean, like there's a bunch of killing and a bunch of other stuff, and then I was like, and so I was like, all right, we're gonna keep track of everything, just in case. So, and I got all paranoid and careful and protective and stuff, and then things went well. So eventually, then we started the Olympic Games and stuff like that, and then after that, more and more stuff happened, basically. And so, like I say, there was 1 ring and 2 rings, and the first Olympic Games was like a gun trial or something like that. Like I had a bow and arrow or something like that, and you could try out the bow and arrow on some animals that I had milling around in this fenced-in community. Or there's like this big 100 mile or so fenced-in area, and you could go and you could shoot your dinner basically. So it was kind of expensive. It was like a couple bits or something, or a gold piece or something like that, and you could take one of the guns and go and shoot an animal, and then they would take it and skin it and cook it for you, and and I had people there because one guy turned the gun on the other people and tried to run off with the rest of the guns or something one time, and so I had people there. It's like, if you turn that gun around, I'm going to shoot. Yeah. So I had people there that were paid to watch to make sure it's like keep the gun pointed away from the group, because one guy like turned around, like shot like 3 people in the crowd or something, and then they tried to go through their stuff or something like that. It's like planned or something. Yeah, all kinds of bad stuff happened and all this other stuff. I mean, anyway though, but for a gold piece, you could get a gun, and you could test and you could use it for like 1 kill or something like that. You were given 1 bullet. It's like, you got 1 bullet in that chamber, guys. Son, you better go use it on that animal out there. And so they were charging like a gold piece or something like that, so people could try out shooting a gun and killing something. And somewhere around the Olympic Games, because I had my fake stone. I had like this little city set up with like this fake stone building and some other fake stone buildings, and it did really well. There wasn't much there, and then it kind of grew and grew and grew, and we kind of added services, as it went, and more people came to go and be there, and they liked it there. And eventually we had wine and stuff like that, and we had some cheese or something, some goat cheese. I had some goats that someone gave me. I kept trading, I'd trade people for goats and goats for people, and and you know, I was just trading, kind of gaining people, and people love to be with around my group, around me, because you know we were inventing, and researchers and engineers and designers, and I was an inventor. So you know, they're like, we're with you. So I was like, okay, let's go. You know, so I mean, and mostly love and patience and understanding and kindness. You know, I just, and eventually, after seeing how bad the world was, like I say, I mean, you know, my name's Brian, and I'm Lucifer Star. So I don't normally have an accent, but anyway, it's true though that I mean, it came to that point where I just couldn't stand it anymore. You know, like I say, I'm a creator of life forms and places and matter itself, and this epic great creature, and you know, of like 100 trillion years, and it just, you know, it bothered me. You know, I got to that point where I just went snap, and I was just like, enough. You know, and I got a little psycho, I guess you could say, and like put some people in their place. And normally I'm a pacifist, and I'm just like lock them up, but you know, they didn't care. They were just going to kill people and shoot people anyway. So I was like, all right, just shoot them in the head. Fuck it. You know, torture them if you have to. Like, I didn't really care. So a couple people who thought they could just push me around and get away with shit, you know, found out the hard way that, you know, I care a lot about my people, and I'd do anything for them. Even torture, kill, whatever. Mostly kill. Mostly, you know, I didn't really torture very many people, actually. Like it was only the one or two few of, like, over like 100 million years or 1,000 million years. There's just those one or two people that just climbed to that little tippy top point of really, really, really horrible people. And those people, you know, it's like, take them. You know, like there's that one guy, they put him in a box of cockroaches. So yeah, but he deserved it. Like I said, he was, you know, making people eat and drink his, you know what, his waste. So he was a really disgusting person, and he had too much money where he could actually affect the world a little bit. So anyway, so some people dealt with him and stuff like that. And anyway, so you know, in the old days they used to do some pretty horrible things to you, you know. Until later on, I was like, no, you can't do that. That's not. You have to act better than them. So my people tried to act better than everyone else, and just tried to, you know, and like sometimes, like I say, sometimes it's just like if they've done that much, if they've killed that many people, if they've hurt that many people, you know, you just got to shoot them in the head, you know, or hang them. You know, just like, it just gets to that point where it's like, we've told you 100 times. We've tried to get you to do this. We've tried to get you that, but you won't stop doing it. So, you know, time to say goodbye. You know, and then there's those people who like try and kill off all the good people before they go and do the bad. And it's like, well, that's just wrong. You know? Yeah, like I said, I paid a lot of money for all this to keep the world a better place and all that. So anyway, but yeah, the Olympic Games actually started around year 30, and it's a common misconception that they're just documented for the first time in year 390. But realistically, from the year 5 or so. You know, from the beginning. So yeah, and it coalesces with my fake stone, which is basically concrete made from oyster shells, and some and we also use some coral reefs that they pulled up. So they used to, because the anchors used to drag on them, and so they would rip them out anyway. And then when they pull them up to the ship, you know, there's this big chunk of oyster. This big chunk of coral reef. There used to be a lot of them out there, and so because my ships would go. And then I'd pull them up, and there'd be all these coral reefs and stuff, and they'd be stuck to the anchor anyway. So it's like, okay, we'll sell them in port. You know, so they used to sell them. People used to make stuff out of the little concrete stuff.